we're out front here working on the power steering now on this car. We're adding it on. So I didn't have any of the bracketry to put this on, and I've been trying to figure it out. And I'm going to show you how to not do things right. Sometimes things aren't described as they should be on the internet. And I bought this bracket thinking it was the right one for my 66 Chevelle, but it was not. This is for a Camaro bracket. And the problem is where it puts the power steering pump in relation to the gearbox, you can see it's not going to fit out right. You know, it's great. Fit on the small block 327. And this little clamp here that wraps around here, that's great. It fits and everything. But when we went to go put the gearbox on, nothing is right. So, fortunately, calling around, asking around, my buddy Jerry had the right power steering brackets, and you can see I've got them sandblasted and they're drying right now. Got some paint on them and whatnot. So we will get those bracketry dried up and then mounted onto the car. So, and I'll hopefully show you how to do this correctly. Once again, wrong bracketry here with the pump off, but you can see how it mounts. This will come in handy. Hey, we do have a 68 Camaro we're going to be working on very shortly here. So we'll use this bracketry somewhere. All right, now I got the correct pumps on there, I think. And you can see that this bracket mounts the pump much higher and away from the engine and over top of the gearbox, which you see I have bolted on now. And then the other clamp, our other bracketry, mounts right here, okay, and that'll go to a stud that's coming out of the back of the pump itself. So let's get the pump on there and see how this all looks now. All right, this is just madness trying to get these bracketries to, you know, line up and get things that you want to happen. Now, like this is a pump we got from the auto parts store, and the hose goes down the right way. I don't know if you can see this, but this hose goes down the correct way. That's great. But what happens when they, you know, when they make the tanks like this, instead of like, let's say like this, you know, you get less clearance as far as making belt adjustments goes, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I don't have much play in this thing. But we got it on there and we'll keep going. The next thing I want to make a point of is we went with the 93 to 97 Jeep Cherokee pump here, okay? Now, why did I go with that? It's, I think, a 12 to 1, 12 to 7 instead of 16 to 1, something like that. It gives you a tighter feel on the steering, more of a modern car feel. Unfortunately, when you do that, your fittings aren't going to quite fit if you have stock fittings like this, which accept a flare. This is a flare fitting. And this pump is designed for an O-ring seal on the end of this tube. So what you do to change that over is you buy these little adapters. So there's a little flare adapter, and they're just as easy as just dropping them down in there. And then you're all set to go. This is going to tighten up on here. The brass is going to make a seal on the steel there. And it's going to make a seal on the flare, make a seal on the steel flare here. So we'll do that for both of these tubes. So, okay, here we go. All right, here's something that we needed to do on the power steering situation that we had. So this is from a manual steering box. This is the Pitman arm, okay? And the spline is not the same as what you'll have on a power steering box. So we went to O'Reilly's and we ordered what we thought was the right Pitman arm. And I think it was right down here, the $62.99. I think that's what it was. But when it came in, it was not the correct size out here. And this is a tapered hole, which makes it even more of a challenge. And you can kind of see what I'm getting to is, thankfully, Uncle Larry had a tapered drill, okay, or tapered mill. And you can see how this goes. So we went ahead and we put it in here like so, okay? And we got the depth we needed to go to by just marking the taper there, okay? Then we took it over on our handy dandy drill press here, and we lined this up with a piece of wood, so when we went through, this would kind of keep it from going all over the place. It actually worked. You know, we don't have a milling machine, just a rigid drill press. And you can see that we drilled it out. And we drilled it down to that line. Okay? So then, I wish I had videotaped all this, but I'm just showing you the aftermath here. So then, got it all in the car, and you can see we've got the hoses connected up. Okay? And then we had to take a little bit of the steering apart so we could get our arm in there. And you can see we've got our arm in there. All right? So now we are all set as far as our steering goes. So we've got our box in here that will turn quicker and turn the wheels. I don't know, I can't do this one-handed, but it looks pretty good. The only thing I need to get right now, I've got my pulleys on there, and that's another situation I gotta tell you about. I gotta go check my video to see if I recorded that, and make sure I tell you about those pulleys. So you think that's a double pulley down there, but it's actually two pulleys sandwiched together. So, all right, so all in all, to convert this 66 Chevelle to power steering from manual steering, costs us about $450 between the gearbox, the Pitman arm, and the pump there. And then fortunately, our buddy Jerry had the right bracketry we needed to mount the pump. So I think we're all set. We're getting kind of close to starting this thing. Unfortunately, I put some water through the radiator today, and it had a couple holes in it. So we're going to have to get the radiator record. And you can see we got the 67 over there. So we put the 70 Chevelle into deep storage over in the other garage. So it's in a nice heated barn too for the winter. And we brought the 67 in here for two reasons. One, we can, absolutely compare pieces on this 66 to that 67. And the other thing is we want to get a paint job on that car. So I need to start stripping down the car as far as all the trim goes. So we'll be taking all the stainless off and all this stuff off and all the window felts and get the glass out of it and get all the stuff off so that it can be painted. Because, you can see the paint's chipping off here. And this is going to be a pretty car. The original color was Marina Blue, and we're going to get it back to Marina Blue. And right now we got this race motor in that Larry and I built, and it's pretty impressive, but we're going to put the original motor back in here. So Uncle Larry's had that project for a while, and he needs to finish that up. So, hey, I'm rambling, but this power steering project is all set for the car now.